Under the relentless blaze of the August sun, I plodded along the parched dirt path, my body protesting with every step from the heavy load of my oversized backpack slung over my shoulders and the cumbersome gym bag dangling from my hand. Beads of sweat cascaded down my forehead, drenching my black t-shirt and creating faint white streaks where the salt had dried, even seeping into my socks and sneakers, making them uncomfortably squishy. "Nathan, pick up the pace!" My mother's energetic voice rang out from up ahead, remarkably vibrant despite the stifling humidity that hung in the air like a thick blanket. I grumbled softly to myself, urging my weary legs to quicken their rhythm, puzzled by how she could stride so assuredly in this sweltering climate. It was a mystery that always left me in awe. Her hair, dyed a crisp white, was neatly tied back into a ponytail that swayed rhythmically with her confident gait, and she appeared entirely unfazed by the heat in her simple white t-shirt, as if the weather was merely a minor inconvenience, rather than the oppressive force it felt like to me. We trudged past tall, imposing fences that shielded luxurious vacation estates from prying eyes, their opulent designs tucked away behind layers of privacy. At last, Mom halted in front of a grand iron gate, effortlessly retrieving a bundle of keys from her pocket with the familiarity of someone who had done this many times before. She inserted the key, twisted it with a satisfying click, and pushed the gate wide open. Before us unfolded a pristine path of white gravel, meandering gracefully through impeccably trimmed bushes and towering trees that provided dappled shade along the way. This trail guided us toward an inviting open terrace, flanked by a spacious porch that exuded elegance and warmth. To one side, a broad paved driveway led to the garage, partially concealed by a lush green fence that harmonized perfectly with the thoughtfully curated courtyard. Every element of this property radiated careful design and attention to detail, from the vibrant flower beds to the subtle lighting fixtures that promised enchanting evenings. Further along, there was a dedicated recreation zone equipped with a sturdy barbecue grill, a functional outdoor stove, and an enormous wooden table that seemed built for grand gatherings, evoking images of lively family barbecues and laughter-filled conversations under the stars. The landscaping was masterfully planned, with a variety of plants chosen to bloom or bear fruit continuously from the early days of April right through to the crisp end of October, ensuring the yard was always alive with color and fragrance. As we finally crossed the threshold into the house, the sudden coolness of the interior enveloped us like a soothing embrace, chasing away the exhaustion from our journey. Mom let out a deep, satisfied sigh, placing her bag gently on the hallway table before making her way purposefully toward the kitchen. I trailed behind, my eyes wandering over the immaculate surroundings, the gleaming floors, the tastefully arranged furniture, and the subtle decorative touches that made the space feel both luxurious and homey. Everything here spoke volumes about the owner's dedication to perfection. It was evident in every corner, from the spotless countertops that reflected the light like mirrors, to the expansive refrigerator integrated seamlessly into the custom cabinetry, blending form and function effortlessly. "What would you like for a snack?" I called out, peering into the abundantly stocked fridge, my mouth watering at the sight of grilled chicken, savory sausages, assorted cheeses, fresh tomatoes, crisp cabbage, a juicy watermelon, and even jars of black and red caviar that added a touch of extravagance. Mom chuckled lightly, her laughter echoing warmly in the room. "You could have just mentioned the chicken to start with. Perhaps I'll whip up some fried potatoes to go along." My stomach rumbled loudly in agreement, but I shook my head. "No way, I'm too hungry for that. Let's keep it simple with some bread for now. But first, I desperately need a shower. Do you want to go ahead?" "Feel free," she responded kindly. "I'll grab a quick bite while I wait." I nodded appreciatively, thankful for the opportunity to rinse off the dust and sweat accumulated from our long trek. As I made my way to one of the two well-appointed indoor bathrooms, I couldn't stop admiring the house's thoughtful features. It was obvious no expense had been spared, including the addition of an outdoor bathroom nestled in the backyard, complete with a toilet, a refreshing shower area, and even a handy shed for garden tools. The front yard's manicured beauty contrasted sharply with the more utilitarian backyard, yet both areas reflected the hands-on care of a dedicated homeowner, in the faint whisper of a breeze that barely stirred the air, carrying the earthy aroma of fresh hay and sun-warmed soil, I caught sight of Mom standing motionless, her eyes gently closed, and a serene expression gracing her face, as if she were fully immersing herself in the tranquility of the moment, cherishing this brief escape from everyday hustle. Not wishing to interrupt her peaceful reverie, I approached quietly toward what appeared to be a charming wooden structure, topped with a sleek black water tank. This booth-like setup was exquisitely constructed, painted in a fresh white hue with wooden boards joined so precisely that the seams were nearly invisible, creating a seamless and inviting appearance. Tiny, unglazed windows positioned just beneath the roofline allowed for natural ventilation, while the door featured 3 practical vertical slots ideal for hanging clothes and towels, with a convenient shelf below for shoes or other items. Peeking inside, I was impressed by the warm-toned mosaic tiles adorning the walls, depicting simple, elegant patterns that evoked a sense of calm and history, perhaps inspired by ancient Roman designs. A straightforward regulator on the wall controlled the water flow, which cascaded not from a traditional showerhead but directly from the ceiling, drenching a compact central area in a refreshing downpour. Neat shelves held an assortment of gels, shampoos, and soft washcloths, ready for use. Stepping back outside, I marveled once more at the level of craftsmanship and foresight put into even this small feature. Assuming Mom had returned indoors, I decided to follow suit and perhaps prepare that meal we'd discussed. As I strolled back, my thoughts drifted to her. She had single-handedly raised me after Dad's departure, never seeking another partner, dedicating herself fully to her role as deputy director at a construction materials firm. Vacations were rare for her. I'd been fortunate with biannual trips to the seaside, always provided for without question, but I struggled to recall when she'd last allowed herself a true break from responsibilities. Still pondering this, I entered the kitchen and nearly bumped into her, causing a small startle as she yelped in surprise and stepped back. I reached out reflexively to steady her, but quickly withdrew, mumbling an apology. Mom smoothed her shirt with a composed smile. "No worries at all, I'm just a bit jumpy today. I was coming to fetch you. How about we explore that river you mentioned earlier?" I agreed eagerly, relieved for the change of pace. "That sounds perfect. Let me just snag a quick snack first." Rifling through the fridge, I grabbed a piece of chicken and a plump tomato, munching thoughtfully as I tried to shake off the minor awkwardness of the moment. It was likely just the fatigue from travel and the new environment playing tricks on my senses. Little did I realize this summer getaway would strengthen our bond in ways I hadn't anticipated, filled with shared discoveries and heartfelt conversations. Venturing into the woods, my mind still buzzing from the day's events, the forest wrapped us in its refreshing coolness, a delightful contrast to the earlier heat. The atmosphere was rich with the sweet sense of ripening berries and scattered nuts, accompanied by a harmonious chorus of birds chirping and leaves whispering in the gentle wind. "Mom, hold on, wait for me," I called, noticing she'd forged ahead a little. She paused and turned, and I almost tripped over a root, caught off guard by her casual attire, a light sundress that seemed perfect for the relaxed setting, though not what I'd pictured for a woodland stroll. "What's the matter?" she asked, spotting my brief hesitation. I cleared my throat, steadying myself. "Nothing, really. But is that your casual dress from the bag?" She glanced down, as if noticing it anew. "Oh, yes, it was right on top. Does it make a difference?" I shrugged nonchalantly, keeping my words minimal as we pressed on, becoming increasingly attuned to the natural beauty around us, the way sunlight filtered through the canopy, casting playful shadows on the path. The trail eventually widened into a serene clearing beside the river, where a sturdy wooden pier jutted out over the sparkling, transparent waters, revealing schools of fish darting below. Nearby, a cozy picnic spot with benches invited relaxation, promising idyllic moments of reflection. "Aren't you going to take a dip?" Mom suggested with a grin. I paused, feeling a touch self-conscious, but replied, "What about you?" She dismissed it lightly. "I didn't pack a swimsuit. Go on. Enjoy it." Before I could argue, she was already ambling toward the pier. I observed as she approached the edge and, with a spontaneous leap, plunged into the water, surfacing with a joyful laugh, her dress now soaked, but her spirit undampened. My pulse quickened with excitement as I shed my outer layers down to shorts, and joined her, the chilly water providing an invigorating shock that washed away any lingering tiredness. We splashed around playfully, the cool currents easing our minds and fostering a sense of pure, carefree fun. After a while, Mom sighed contentedly, brushing wet strands from her face. This is exactly what we needed, a chance to unwind and reconnect. I nodded in agreement, feeling a deep sense of gratitude for these simple joys. You're right. It's moments like these that make everything worthwhile. We swam side by side, sharing stories from our past, reminiscing about childhood adventures, family holidays, and the challenges she'd overcome as a single parent. The water seemed to dissolve any barriers, allowing us to talk openly about dreams for the future and the importance of family ties. Eventually, we made our way back to the pier, the shared experience leaving us both refreshed and closer than before. I think I'll head back to prepare dinner, Mom said, wringing out her hair with a satisfied smile. Stay and swim a bit longer, if you'd like. I watched her depart, a mix of contentment and reflection stirring within me. Part of me wanted to prolong the day, but I knew the evening held more opportunities for bonding. With a deep breath, I dove back in, letting the rhythmic strokes clear my thoughts. Though I couldn't ignore how this vacation was already weaving new threads into our relationship. As dusk approached, I returned to the house, finding Mom in the kitchen, the savory aromas of a home-cooked meal filling the air. "Can I help with anything?" I asked, lingering in the doorway. She turned with a warm smile. "Absolutely. Set the table, would you?" We moved in quiet harmony, the unspoken ease between us speaking volumes. Over dinner, we chatted about the day's highlights, the stunning views, the refreshing swim, and plans for tomorrow. About that river adventure, Mom began thoughtfully. It reminded me how much we've grown together. I met her eyes, nodding. It did for me, too. We're in this as a team. The conversation flowed naturally, touching on gratitude and future aspirations, dispelling any earlier awkwardness. That night, as I lay in bed gazing at the ceiling bathed in moonlight, I reflected on the day's events, the laughter, the shared silences, the simple pleasures. Sleep came easily, filled with anticipation for more discoveries. Morning arrived with golden sunlight piercing the curtains I'd neglected to draw, accompanied by the inviting scent of coffee drifting upstairs. Descending to the kitchen, I found Mom at the counter, humming a familiar tune while assembling breakfast in her light summer dress that fluttered softly. "Morning," I greeted, my voice still husky from rest. She beamed, though a hint of thoughtfulness lingered in her eyes. "Good morning, Nathan. Sleep well?" "Like a log," I replied, pouring coffee. We ate leisurely, the quiet broken by casual talk, but an undercurrent of appreciation for our time together persisted. "We should hike today," Mom proposed suddenly. "There's a trail nearby with great views." I agreed enthusiastically. "Perfect. It'll be good for us." The forest trail buzzed with life, bird songs, rustling foliage, crisp air invigorating our steps. In comfortable silence, we hiked, the exercise melting away any remnants of stress. When Mom stumbled on a steep incline, I steadied her gently. "Thanks," she said softly. We reached a panoramic clearing overlooking the valley, the vista breathtaking. "Isn't it stunning?" she marveled, turning to me. "Absolutely," I agreed, captivated by the scene. On the return, Mom paused. "Nathan, this trip is reminding me how precious our time is." My heart swelled. "I feel the same. Let's make the most of it." We walked back hand in hand as companions, the bond unbreakable. That evening, as we relaxed, sharing stories under the stars, I knew this vacation had deepened our connection immeasurably. The days ahead promised more adventures, laughter, and unbreakable family ties, making every moment feel profoundly right.